Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Come and follow me on my journey to Lightbox Expo this year. Lightbox Expo is a 3-day convention in Pasadena, California, and it's where artists can gather and network with professionals in the animation industry. There are also so many panels to see and demos to watch from your favorite artists and an artist alley to be able to meet them. So here I was, day one, on my way to Pasadena, ready for the first day of Lightbox, which technically is the second day because I couldn't get Friday off. So it's the first day for me. I live in Chino Hills and decided to take a train to get there. The last couple of years, I really got stuck into the corporate 9-to-5 office life, and I really felt like giving up on my dream to pursue art as a career. And I'm sure a lot of artists can relate to that sentiment now, considering what's happening in entertainment with the strike and all, and AI, of course. So I really started to feel like having a creative career was a pipe dream, especially since wanting to work toward a creative career was something I realized later than most, unfortunately. I realized I wanted to do this when I was 26, after college, after a degree already, so I missed out on getting an art education. And this feeling of what I want being a pipe dream doesn't really sound like myself, because for all of my youth, I really loved being delusional, but a good delusional, the kind where I truly believed everything and anything was possible. I thought I could be a fashion designer, a movie director, or even a pop star. Next thing I knew, I forgot what it meant to dream and work toward an exciting life. Sad to say, it felt like a lot of color was lost in my life. I wanted to remember why I was so drawn to art in the first place, and why I thought this was something that was attainable to me, and why it was something I wanted to risk the comfort of stable income for. Is breaking into this industry something I really wanted? And do I really believe that I can make it? All questions I probably won't get answers to by going to one convention, but at least it's a start. I made it to Pasadena, and there was Lightbox Expo. I finally made it. I was ready, bright-eyed and bushy-tailed, and yes, I forgot to bring my badge. Left my badge at home all the way in Chino Hills. It would take quite some time to get, and I couldn't get into the convention. But luckily, my husband was able to drive down and take it to me. So in the meantime, while I waited for him, I decided to get some breakfast at one of my favorite cafes in Pasadena, Earth Cafe. And I know, a lot of people, local, I grew up in California, SoCal, in the Los Angeles area. People say Earth Cafe is so overrated, which it could be. It's very expensive, but it's very delicious. Highly recommend. And it's a vibe. You feel real cute out there. So if you're ever in the area, Earth Cafe, it's a good place to go. Finally, I was at Lightbox Expo. And from my experience last year, Lightbox is a little chaotic and strategy is key. So I knew that I wasn't going to be able to get a portfolio review, especially because there was a lottery and I unfortunately didn't get a slot. And since I was late, I definitely wouldn't get to see more than 2 panels that day. So I prioritized seeing one I really wanted to, and I chose to see the screening of The Brave Locomotive, and I did not regret it. The film was so inspiring and super charming. Andrew Chesworth, the writer and director of the film, merged classic hand-drawn animation with CG elements to create a beautiful short film that's a nod to classic animation. It really made me think about independent filmmaking and how I predict that there's going to be a surge of independent artists making projects as a response to the unfortunate rise of the demand of AI art. So it was inspiring to see that. It was so beautiful to see classic style animation, and it reminded me what I fell in love with about it. It also gave a great message of creating just for the sake of it. because it took Andrew a decade to make this film simply because life happens. But after all the time that's passed, he didn't let this passion project sit on a shelf to be forgotten. It showed me how important it is to nurture the things you dream of sharing with the world. So after the screening, I made my way to the artist alley. I got to meet one of my favorite artists and YouTubers, Anya Butler. She was so nice, and she even gave me this darling sticker. It's a little cheese turtle. I was walking around. I didn't really plan on talking to anyone at tables this year because my confidence was shot and I was intimidated. So I just got to look around and buy some cool art. But I do wish I put myself out there and made some friends. I think back about the wonderful people I met last year, the talented, inspiring people, and how much they inspired me. And it would have been nice to meet more. I got to catch some awesome demos like Planning Your Perfect Character Rotation, led by Haley Rose, who is another one of my biggest art heroes. Her work is amazing. And this was a super helpful demo. I got to learn how rotations in feature differ from that of in a series and why. I also really got helpful tips that I will implement when I do more rotations that I will share on this channel very soon. The last thing I was able to catch that day was a demo by Megan Brain, who is an awesome paper cutting artist. Look at her work. It's honestly breathtaking and such a cool niche to find in the art industry. Very cool. And I ended the day with some delicious Indian food, ready for day 2. Back at the train station with a badge and bag this time, and very early to catch one of the first panels of the day. That being a session with character design legends, and when I tell you I fangirled. Peter DeSev, Carter Goodrich, and my dream mentor, Carlos Grangel, shared their experiences that they had in the animation industry, the work they did, and how they maintained their friendship over the years. It was awesome to see, and it only made me hope that I will one day be surrounded by people who inspire me to be a better artist. And who knows, maybe Carlos Grangel will be my mentor. He has a mentorship available on CGMA, and I did take a couple classes, so that's definitely a goal in the future. Maybe I'll document it on this channel. Next, I headed to the demo hall to catch 2 awesome demos, the first being Emma Cormarie's taking a character from sketch to color. I got here early because seats fill up pretty fast, so I had some time to sketch the person next to me. And during the panel, I sketched along with her, and it was very fun. A lot of her process reminded me of my own, where maybe for her it's a good thing because it's very intentional, but for me it's a bit unorganized. But she likes to combine layers or work on one single layer and then kind of carve out the shape, color, everything on that one layer, which is I guess I over time made a rule for myself that I should be working on layers, but you can get a very nice illustration and learn to problem solve on one layer, and I might try that soon. Last demo I watched was one led by Camille Rodriguez called Mastering Complexity with Simple Shapes and Colors. And this ended up being my favorite of the whole weekend. But first of all, look at Camille's work. It's so inspiring. I can only wish to be this kind of artist one day. And it's very reminiscent of Daisu Tsumi's work, which I'm a big fan of, and I'm sure everybody's a big fan of because it's so beautiful. Her process was also very real in that there's so much trial and error and rethinking when you're making a painting. The process to get such a beautiful end result can be messy, but it showed me how to solve certain problems like composition, saturation, and most importantly, how things read to the viewer. What vibe is it giving? And it gave me many painting video ideas to come out with this year, so hopefully that can also come soon on my channel. And I thought I would end the day doing one more round in the artist alley, so I bought some art, found this lovely vendor selling Filipino themed stationery, which is right up my alley. Loved it so much. And then I went home that day, and that concluded my trip to Lightbox Expo. So what did I think? Did this trip help me answer all the questions I had and reignite that passion I was looking for with art? In a way, it did, surprisingly. I went trying to find why I wanted to break in the industry, despite starting later than most and during a time when artists are undervalued and are being advised to avoid this career path. But I found it. Not all at Lightbox, but through everything around me that weekend. Exploring Pasadena, seeing people, seeing art in things that don't always feel like art. It was the color I was looking for. Being creative is something I'm always unconsciously gonna do. No matter how much I try to fight it, I'll always be working toward an exciting life. Becoming a character designer or an illustrator or an editor, whatever it may be, is going to ensure that I keep seeing that color that I'm looking for. The composition, the stories in everyday life. Learning how to draw, teaching myself, feeling like I'm so far behind or barely progressing, makes the moments that I do improve so much more worth it. I feel like a lot of why I feel discouraged about pursuing art is because I had eyes set on one path, which was character design. So you have to be the best of the best. And I think I was adding that pressure onto myself. The pressure to be the best, to beat out everybody else. And it made me believe that I wasn't a good artist and that my work would never be as good as the professionals I idolize now. And that negative self-talk really moved me away from wanting to create. Social media comparison is real, and it's difficult to find a balance, to be motivated and inspired by all the artists I love, and not have it remind myself that I'm nowhere near close to where they are. I just don't think that's the right mindset to have. There's room for everybody. Everybody starts somewhere, and there is time to improve whether I'm 26 or 86. There are other ways to get where I want, and what I want, while yes, it is a dream job to be a character designer on a film or a TV project, but in reality, the bigger picture is very simple. I want to be able to create every day. I want a career that doesn't suck the color out of my life and make me believe that I don't have to just be a cog in the machine to pay the bills. One that helps me see how exciting life can be. So I will definitely keep pushing along, doing all the things that make me feel creative. Lightbox is awesome. It is a wonderful convention for people who want to network, who want to break into the industry, but also who just want to see so much great art and learn and explore. I really recommend it. I will definitely be there next year, hopefully with a portfolio or hopefully with a few more advancements. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please consider liking and subscribing, and Happy New Year! You can expect to see more of me this year. See you in the next one.